team will just first pick Sand King. But it is still picked.
Yeah, I was just kind of curious because it's pretty much like in every single game in South America right now.
Yep, I've seen the same in Europe and North NA where it's like you first pick that either Sand King or Clock is first picked.
Yeah, pretty much.
But it's definitely picked in one of the preferred fours, but I think it hasn't been. That game was run as an offlaner, not a 4 position.
I think the only unique 4 position pick in South America that's heavily prioritized is Night Stalker, but I think a lot of other teams have been running it too.
That's been a top ban for some of these other regions. It's actually not banned here. This is one of the first games I feel like I've seen without a Night Stalker ban.
Yeah, they instead Execration take out the under region, so
okay.
Actually not banned here. This is one of the first games I feel like I've seen without a Night Stalker ban.
For some reason that doesn't feel like a QO hero to me. Maybe it is, like it's not mobile enough to dive in deep enough. It still wants to like run in and die sometimes. But
it's more like the RJ hero where it's just like this more stable, consistent one. QO has played mid in some of their games when there's been a hero that he wants to play there, so.
Venomancer is definitely one of those great heroes for brawling all the time. You know, Poison Nova, not exactly that long of a cooldown. You just run in there, and I don't know how people have been building it, but you drop your Veil and you ult, and you know.
He's like an awkward cooldown hero where the ultimate's relatively short, but if you looked at the pacing of last game, which was like fights every minute, and it feels like a 20-second cooldown on Venomous scale might be a little bit like too long almost, which is crazy to think. But Night Stalker Puck.
10 seconds remaining.
Talked about Execration being good puck player. Nando,
5 seconds
amazing puck. Has some big plays in the past.
Yeah, they actually got it around this time, and the Night Stalker there, it feels like this is one of those that can help to control the map, but also be very aggressive early. Like he can match up and match the pace of a game when he's just flying around at nighttime, as long as it's nighttime. You know, that's I guess one of the other things is you have to make sure that you have something to carry you through. Because Fnatic will keep running at you even when it's day.
So Nyx, not bad as far as a hero to actually gank a puck with the Carapace on the Orb or Silence.
The respect Bloodseeker ban. We've been seeing it more and more in Phase 2. I think yesterday a team went up against Clutch Gamer, also banned out Bloodseeker in Phase 2 after they defeated TNC with it.
The hero is definitely in the meta at the moment. Like it's not like being commonly picked, but it's at least being considered and picked here and there.
Yeah,
it's very much a QO hero. I know that he spams it in pubs like all the time. So it's a very well-practiced hero.
My favorite thing about the hero is that he also has a lot of very flexible builds. The way that we've been seeing different players use it very differently. We saw the Midas BKB into Radiance last game. Yesterday it was, I want to say Blaymail coming out from the Bloodseeker.
You can go like the full
SNY.
Spellcaster too, seeing like Ag Dagon builds even. And even with the talents, you have like the spell talents with the blood right damage, the rupture damage, or you can go the right click talents with attack speed and bonus damage or something. I think it is. I don't know.
And then the cooldown at 25 too.
You always take the HP at 10 though.
Yeah. Even if
25 is a lot.
It's so much. It's so much HP. Even if you're a carry right clicking Bloodseeker, you always win HP.
I mean, it's basically just a VIT booster, so it's like an extra 1,200 net worth onto your inventory.
Yeah.
It's great.
I was blessed by the marine biologist.
Oh yeah?
His Bloodseeker, yeah. 4-staff, Dagon 5.
That seems like a marine biologist build. He's a
marine
Pudge. He plays Pudge. If he's playing Bloodseeker, I'm sure he's going to go some trolley build. Just knowing Lacoste, any trolley build he can do, he's going to do.
What a guy.
Drow and Clockwork banned out.
So yeah, Sand King's still there, which was a pick last game for Execration, but it's not been like the must-pick hero for any of these teams.
You know, there was a game I watched in South America where one team drafted Night Stalker and they were trying to use his vision to fight, and it was actually against SG Esports, and the way they dealt with it was they picked a extremely powerful death ball that even without vision they would survive anything, and the hero that really enabled them to do that was Undying. Is this an Undying game? It's actually looking pretty good.
I don't know, if you have Undying Veno, you're starting to lack a lot of catch from these kind of more utility heroes. You're most reliant on Nyx.
I mean, so it's going to be a one Venomancer most likely, right? So you could dual lane.
Veno Undying dual lane.
Dual lane the. Okay, well, I mean, you're not going to do Undying now, but I know Warlock. an old school combo. You Fatal Bonds and ulti. Everyone's going to die if they get caught.
Yep.
I mean, Nyx is kind of cool little catch for Puck as well. You can run into that illusory orb and just pop Spike Carapace, and I mean, Mana Burn is going to blow up him and Rubik pretty effectively.
This Rubik pick is like super value for Execration. That null field is insanely value when it comes to these kind of magic damage lineups.
Yeah, I feel like that particular part of the hero to me is one of the more underrated part. Like everyone thinks about like, oh, instant disable or spell steal, but
do you know what the exact percentage is if you have level 4? You go from
Field?
25 to what, like 40 something?
40 I think is one I say.
Yeah, it's like super good.
Yeah.
All you need now is a hero that can buy pipe and you're good.
And then you get Glimmer on the hero and you're like just laughing at spellcasters.
It's pretty cool, and the other thing too is that Fatal Bonds, I believe, increases damage based upon the type that was dealt, so it's still going to be reduced even after that. And Quap now, maybe, I really like this pick a lot. If you can find that Warlock at the start of the fight, just blow him up. All of a sudden, I mean, as you mentioned, that lack of disable that's there, this could be a problem.
There's a very strong possibility of that happening as well, since they are running that Night Stalker. Is this going to be a 3 Night Stalker? Do they
do the Puck in the off lane.
Puck in the off
Yeah.
lane. Okay.
Interesting they picked their mid over their carry. I feel like a lot of teams with that last pick are normally prioritizing saving their carry, but at the same time I think that's starting to change because the mid hero pool has kind of gone to just like Lina, Quap, Puck.
Yeah, that's
as like the big like you can pick these heroes anytime and they don't get counterpicked. Like you're not worried about a Lina being counterpicked so much.
You know, Parker, this like takes me back to Dota 1C days where they would just pick like 2 mid heroes essentially and put one of them in the safe lane. It would not surprise me if this is like Quap mid and Puck safe, cause especially with Nando playing.
Even Dota 1 Pinoy days, they would always do offlane Pucks and offlane Quaps,
Yeah, exactly.
offlane Miranas, because they were bottle crowing.
Yeah, they all bottle crow.
The double crow.
They have 3 solo heroes, and then the supports, their job is to buy couriers and buy bottles for like sometimes they'd even buy the bottle for their cores.
Oh man.
Well, the support buying the bottle will be too slow, so most of the time the cores still bought it for themselves.
Yeah,
but the courier definitely.
The supports would buy 2 couriers and 2 courier upgrades.
Yeah. That's something expensive.
Then everyone's bottle crowing.
Back then, though, the couriers could ward for you, so.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, the other thing too was that bottle was much more powerful.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's true too.
And it would be like you'd have 2 1v1 lanes where the solo players were just bottle crowing, and then you'd have a tri-lane versus tri-lane lane. It always worked out. Like both teams would tri-lane the same lane.
Yep.
And just that lane didn't get any couriers. You'd have 2 1v1 spammy heroes just spamming nukes, bottle crowing. It was entertaining Dota.
I remember those days. Skywrath mid was super popular back in those days too, because of that. Just constantly spamming.
Skywrath wasn't even a hero back then.
No, it was.
Dota
well,
1?
actually, no. This is when I watched it. It was right as Dota 2 came out. I was watching a Southeast Asian Dota tournament.
I speak for the team.
I remember the matchup.
Ooh, the
That's
Ohio
the
Prophet.
Ohio
The
hero.
classic.
We got the QO Ember too. I want to say that's going to be his hero.
I'm surprised that Execration banned out PA as their last ban, because to me it was very obvious that that's QO's or hero already, right? The Ember. It's very unlikely to see Ember plus PA plus Veno.
I think maybe they expected Nyx offlane
or
mid
Veno
Ember
support,
and Veno support.
Okay.
I mean, the other thing too is that maybe this last pick just gets trashed by PA, and they were worried.
Yeah, because PA is not great against Queen and Puck. These are elusive heroes that get away from you.
Can't really think of anything else that would be a reason for it except that. But we'll see what Execration's last pick is.
What do they need? They've got good wave clear with the Quap Puck. They may want a hero that can at least deal with the Trianson lane, though. Ursa, perhaps, could be a consideration.
I feel like Sven again, but I don't really like it. Like, it's not really great, but
yeah.
I don't know what else you go. Maybe like Gyrocopter and you try and fight a ton?
It's not bad. May get kited a bit by like the Ember, the Veno.
I think Lifestealer is actually better.
Sure, Lifestealer Puck seems solid.
I think it's always like good to have a core who can negate all the magic damage without
Lifestealer
actually
just
buying items. So
walks.
Lifestealer is probably the best choice.
I mean, you have Juggernaut Healing Ward as a consideration as well. You could spin to mitigate some of that damage.
Yeah, that's actually not bad as well.
Jug gives them some building push. I kind of like that too, but.
What about like and how? Nighttime, you just like mech your team.
Yeah. That was the mouse strat they beat Secret with. Secret's one loss was to a Lycan, Night Stalker, and Nature's Prophet. So it was like this really cheesy all-in push strat. Like 20 minutes in, they're breaking high ground.
Well, in this game, it's always nighttime.
Anti-mage.
That's like not at all.
This is
that
not. This is like the other direction.
Complete completely different.
But honestly,
approach.
it's not a bad pick here, right? I mean, it's a hero that can kind of mitigate the magic damage on his own and does okay against the Furion. So
it's good against all three cores.
Good
like,
against all of them.
Yeah. You think what's AM bad against on that lineup? It's nothing. It's what he may be bad against is just the tempo of the game.
Right. That's what I'm thinking is like the push that's coming from Tree and Veno Lords.
You can definitely pressure the anti-mage if you put the. You can aggressively lane this Venomancer and have him follow the anti-mage. It's actually really strong in laning phase.
So you're expecting offensive tri lane from Fnatic?
Yeah, I think it's very possible.
You could even, I guess, Nature's Prophet can 1v1 the puck's picked up by Raging Potato.
Ooh, the role swap?
Yeah, Nando's these guys have. I mean, even last game, like
care.
Raging Potato was playing off lane, then he's playing 4 positions. These guys are all over the place.
They used to do this with Abed even when he was on the team back in the day. I remember that Nando and him would switch off a lot, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, Chemo's was playing 5 position last game.
This is a Dota I know where like everyone's really talented on every row, and it just mostly come down to heroes.
All right, well, predictions panel. What are you guys thinking as far as the picks here? Do you like the draft from Execration? Are they going to tie the series up?
I think Execration will win this. Just off the draft. I haven't really been seeing how the teams have been playing, but off the draft alone, I think this anti-mage pick is going to work out for them.
I think if they lane it smartly, like Yeltsin suggested, you go offensive to shut down the anti-mage. I also think Fnatic's the better team, judging from what I saw last game, so I'm going to go with Fnatic. No game 3 here.
All right. Well, we'll see. Parker?
Yeah, I want to see how aggressive they can be, whether it's aggro trialing with the Veno, even just like the Nyx with the Nature's Prophet. I think there's a lot of potential to really pressure the AM and his lane. Fast phase boots, Orb of Venom, Nature's Prophet can really bully an anti-mage around. So it's tough. I think Fnatic are definitely on a bit of a timer here, but if they can win the lanes, they should be able to take this game. I'm going to go slightly side with Lumi, but I don't think either team's like won this draft by any means.
Well, the go gets called. Rubik's not in the game. Kyo doesn't care. He just wants to start playing, start running at people.
He just reconnected. He probably didn't get the memo that it wasn't just him DC'd.
Yeah.
So yeah, Raging Potato is going to hold on to that puck. That is not what we've been seeing. It's been almost, just Nando playing the puck for the most part in that off lane, but I guess he made the call, says, I want the anti-mage, and we'll be taking that one.
I mean, does that... I feel like this isn't something that's necessarily, like... Sometimes when you have role swaps, it's that there isn't a confidence in one particular player, but to this it feels more just like he's comfortable running this hero.
I mean, something Lumi mentioned is they're all incredibly talented. There's been a lot of, like, even James has played a bit of the puck. They really have mixed up who's been playing it. Raging Potato, it's not his only game in this qualifiers on the puck, so they've got 3 great puck players. It probably comes down to more who they want playing the anti-mage more than anything. James has almost always been in that mid lane, so early TP's up. DJ and Chemo will scout each other out and see if they can stop the other from putting down wards, or at least figure out where the ward is going.
I wonder if that's a thing in the game at all. Like you have all these players that are really good on one particular area. DJ, a little bit of casual all chat there. But then, like, you know, you don't do well, and then you end up flaming your teammates slightly afterwards. Like, I would have won the game if I was playing the puck or something.
I think there's a discussion about, hey, should we really be swapping roles in big matches? That's maybe a concern. But I don't think there's ever that kind of negativity going to the point where it's like, hey, I would have won us the game if I was a hero. That is like probably one of the worst things you could say to a teammate after a loss. It's like the goalkeeper accidentally messes up in a football, soccer match, and you blame him for the loss afterwards. No, you got to pick him up and focus towards the next match.
I used to play keeper when I was playing soccer growing up. Football, sorry, I know, but
me too. I think I was just tall and gangly, and they're like, "Hey, you're the tallest person. You can reach a lot of things." So, you'll be goalkeeper.
I was wide and big, so I would block balls every now and then when they bounced off me.
We both had different things going for us. Both awkward in our own ways.
Exactly, lovely stuff. So wards, placed down a couple of them, trying to block out this camp. There is at least one that's taken down. It looks like the off-lane camp, there was a sentry drop there as well. We didn't see if it ended up getting de-warded at all. I think DJ's still hanging on to his other observer ward as well. But yeah, the aggro.
Yep. Aggro, tri-lane, less to put on pressure, more because they think AM's going to have a better time in this lane matchup. And this is a very, Pinoy Dota kind of thing. The 1v1 side lane matchups. They give their incredibly individually talented player 1v1. That's what they're going to do for Raging Potato. But it's a very tough matchup. Top lane, a lot of aggression coming in. Perhaps not expecting 3 heroes.
Yeah, 3-person Gale. Nando, though, has the mana break, so he wasn't able to blink forward any further to try and secure that kill. Still a lot of damage dealt with that Gale, and Ajit's going to be back up to full HP with a lot of tangos in his inventory as well.
Febby will be coming top now. He just did a double mana burn or a triple mana burn at mid. James is completely burned and can't do a whole lot at mid as far as mana goes. Very hard to solve this problem. Bottle doesn't give you quite the mana it used to. You can bring out some clarities, but they can perhaps easily be cancelled. So it's going to be a tough, annoying lane. For James.
Man, Ohio is getting in the head of Raging Potato here. 3-3 versus 2-0 so far. Is this just by virtue of the Treants and their ability to help out with the last hitting, or is this just an outlane?
This is... You start the lane with the 4 Treants. They're now 36 damage, not 32. A hero that's received some buffs, and he is just, outlaning Raging Potato largely through the nature of his hero having an advantage here. A good nature, you're really just seeing that he is one of the best Nature's Prophet players. Back when like Bulldog was playing this year at TI3, he was the #1, and in my mind, Ohio was like the 2nd best Nature's Prophet player in the world.
Bit of a TP back here as well. Febby going for, I guess, moving in to secure himself that rune, and maybe thinking about going for James. Is there kill potential there at all?
Perhaps with him this low there is. He's grabbing bounty runes for now, and we'll swoop on in. Impale into Searing Chains. Yeah, there's kill potential. James is pretty low here.
Yeah, they're going to go through. There's the mana burn to start it. James not really caring, apparently, and I guess he just realized that he was dead regardless and wanted to get a last hit first.
I think, yeah, was also probably caught by surprise by the fact it was a haste rune, so couldn't really be outrun. Just a bit of slow reactions there, unfortunately. So things looking good in this mid lane for Fnatic. Top lane, some more aggression to pull in. Veno, some trouble.
Still does have that heal, and the Gale is going to do a lot of work. Nando, no more blink for 4 seconds. He's barely going to be able to survive through that 90 HP. And now RR getting a good bit of right clicks into him as well. Ajit is not afraid. He's just still going to come back in here. Last hit, pull the creep wave, and not miss a whole lot of CS.
He's got a lot of tangos to play around with. Won't have mana for any more Gales is perhaps the bigger problem.
Oh, Raging Potato in trouble. They get the block off with the trees and they find the kill. Ohio knew what he had to do.
He was owning as far as harassment. The CS was actually kind of even on last hits, with Puck just using spells to last hit, but the problem is you use those spells to last hit, you expose yourself like that to a kill. Puck actually going for an unconventional Orb of Venom pickup as well, which I'm not a big fan of. Another kill mid. Oh boy.
That was a really odd decision. James got mana burned and then decided to stick around for more last hits.
Raging Potato bottom is manned up and made his feet again.
Oh no,
Fnatic. That's phase boots on Nature's Prophet. You cannot fight him. Luckily he fogs so he gets the salve off for a little bit, but he's still incredibly low.
Oh man, he's trying to get out of there. He's going to be able to go for the orb. He actually doubles back, so he's going to be able to escape.
Went for that Wild Wings on 10 HP. That's a nice big chunk of gold that can be picked up. TP bottom. This is Quap. This is a kill they have to get. He's going to TP out though.
Oh, Ohio's already gone and still getting denies while he's out of there. Oh, excuse me, no, that was the Puck. At the very least, they're able to get a little bit of alleviation of the pressure onto Raging Potato, but that hurts to rotate James and not find anything.
There's so much wasted time. He's going to now blink his way back mid. Level 4.5 to the Ember. He's level 5. Ember not as high level as he could be because he's been sharing XP with Nyx, but still dominating the lane. Well and truly looking more and more like an anti-mage versus the world kind of game with the start that Execration have had.
Is that something that's still... Oh, we might hold that thought as Lima Kazuna. Is that something that's still viable, though? I feel like we've seen a couple of anti-mage games go well, but it often is off the back of the rest of the team also having a good time and making space for him. Can he do anti-mage versus the world in modern meta?
It's possible, because of how well his hero matches up against Fnatic's lineup. Very good at dealing with Nature's Prophet. Veno doesn't really scare you at all with the magic damage. We may see more of a physical damage Veno build, if anything. I'd love to see that if Arjit farms well. The question is, can he actually farm well? He's been pressured a decent amount in lane and may not be able to find that good farm. See if they can find any more kills. This Invis rune on QO could potentially set up some aggression.
He's holding on to it still for the moment, but yeah, obviously if he ends up leaving the lane at any point, Execration are going to have to be worried.
He was level 6 though. This ultimate is a big boost in damage anywhere on the map. Not to mention he can actually TP in as well.
3 points in Treants. If he does manage to find a kill on any of these heroes, it could be a pretty quick and easy tower as well.
Being ganked though. 2 heroes down here is Rubik TPs and the third is walking.
Night Stalker, no points in silence, so the ways to break a TP right now are Rubik Lift as well as a silence if he uses his ability to TP out. Potato still chasing. They're in range. The orb is there as well. No level 6 right now in Raging Potato, and is going to end up dropping down the trees as well. Ohio trying to back out. He ends up popping out, creating a couple of treants, wants to turn it, but is still going to die nonetheless. They get out for all the trouble.
That was pretty cool. He sprouted himself and then used a Tingo out, so he gets some extra heal out of that, while also like vision blocking his enemies. But Night Stalker, of course, able to fly. Actually does not get fogged by it, so well counterplayed.
Kilo though, he's set up on it. Wants to take down the puck, gets the chains, gets the kill.
Nicely done. This Nyx with early mana burn has been incredibly effective. There are a few games where you want to go level 1 mana burn, but against the Quap, sometimes you see it against the Darks here, he's had a very high impact and he's been incredibly annoying.
Do you like the idea of maxing it second after Impale, or do you think that it's just too value having the Spike Carapace?
I think the Carapace is a setup, because you've got a, you can guarantee a proc against a lot of Puck spells, Queen of Pain spells, so it sets up the Impale. Impale is just not a reliable stun, so you want to be able to set it up whenever possible.
Big fight here going on. Ohio, if he is able to get out of here somehow, some way, they still fly up, but they haven't been able to bring down Ohio. Trying to man up against the Puck. Puck's not going to be able to take down Ohio, and they get out. That one hurts so badly. James, though, comes in to clean up, and now QO has James gone too far. He doesn't have his Flame Guard up, still on a little bit of a cooldown. DJ here as well, trying to amp up that damage being dealt to James. They have all of the Fatal Bonds onto the creeps, but it doesn't look like it's quite going to be enough to kill him off as of yet. So James gets out.
He's lucky the Searing Chains went to the creeps, not him. I was surprised to see Rubik actually pull with the Telekinesis QO into the tower, because it actually set him up to get a good chains onto the Quap, but the creeps bailed James out there. Who's continuing to struggle. Luckily does get the 1 kill for himself on the Nature's Prophet. Speaking of which, he's back bottom. Again, applying pressure, just not letting go of this bottom lane aggression. QO's also rotating back in.
This is, I guess, what they really want to do is just take down the tower early with the Nature's Prophet, and then I guess start to continue to restrict the map. It's the style of play from Fnatic right now. It's giving a lot of room still to this anti-mage. Nando has the Ring of Health, top CS at least for now, and not quite top net worth.
He's doing well, but he needs some of his team. He needs both, at least one of his 2 cores to also get some good farm and have a good game. He can't afford to have both of his cores get shut down, which for the most part has been what has happened. You look at the net worth, and 4 of the top 5 are on the dire side. Nyx has more farm than the 2 solo laners of Execration. That is a big, big problem.
Bevy's been having a great game for himself. They are going to get the Dream Coil out here, and it looks like he's going to end up dying. The epitome of Caster's Curse, but,
yeah.
you know.
Unfortunately, didn't have mana for a Vendetta away, but he's very high level. Immediately will probably TP to a lane with a Vendetta and look for a pick-off on respawn. May even consider trying to gank the anti-mage with a teammate or 2.
And Nendo a little bit low HP right now, and it's kind of hard to maintain that sustain in HP with the Veno in your lane. And still Ohio keeping the pressure bottom. See where it is indeed that Nyx Assassin wants to go. But you've got to imagine that if you're Execration right now, you know that the Vendetta is going to be coming.
Yeah, they saw the Nyx in his levels, and as soon as you kill him, you know that Nyx's plan is like, okay, no longer am I going to sit in a lane, time to go and gank a lane. Nando has been scouted here, but they're going to need an extra bit of stun or lockdown to kill an anti-mage. If anything, Chemo may be the better target here. They haven't got any follow-up stunts for the Nyx is the big problem here. DJ just level 4. Still going to go for this.
Yeah, they want it real bad. There's the mana burn, and like you said, just no way to do it.
Yeah, I think Invis was just wearing off without like an Ember Spirit in the neighborhood for Searing Chains, they weren't going to get that kill.
Maybe we see QO. Do you like the idea of going for early bots on him with like Nature's Prophet always able to create some trees?
Yeah, I would have perhaps personally preferred it over this Veil rush that he's doing. Again, I don't think it's necessarily obviously better, but I think given the nature of the aggression and the fact they've got Nyx roaming around ganking, Nature's Prophet who can TP anywhere on the map for a gank, having a Boots of Travel on Ember could be very value this game. Ember top is getting aggressive, is not going to find a kill, but yeah, I definitely think after the Veil he'll go with Boots of Travel. Could have definitely considered it even before if he wanted to.
Bottom lane, Mana Void catching on Ohio and is going to end up dying there. So James able to pick up that kill with a little bit of help from the anti-mates. The double blink strat.
Yep.
But Fnatic wish they had the Bloodseeker again.
This is the tough part, I think, for Nature's Prophet. You're very strong in the first 5-10 minutes in lane, but once your opponents get some levels, you have to be very careful about not going down too much.
Oh, good silence there, but I don't think it's going to be enough to keep Puck alive. Down here bottom, they're also able to find themselves another. The Rubik got caught by the Mana Burn, able to steal it back, but is not going to be able to save his life. So Rubik goes down as well, and Ohio is even going to TP in, I'm sure. Summon some trees, take the tower.
Yeah, he wants to stick with his team more now. He doesn't want to go to that bottom lane alone. That's where Anti-Mage Quap will just kind of gank him up. Nightstalker's very scary to deal with as well, so good time to start joining up for the gank into push kind of strat. Like Ember, Nyx lead the gank, they find a kill, Nature's Prophet TP's in, helps secure it, and then helps make sure they can secure some towers to follow up with the buffs.
Puck there.
He's going in aggressive.
End up using his orb. Oh,
Mana.
yeah, that would have been big if they could have found the chains, but like you said, no
Needs
mana.
a wand, and also he doesn't have backup there, so I think it was unlikely to be a kill regardless. Decent still on Plague Wards. Rubik comes in quickly just to grab them off Argit, and that will help defend these towers. Mid lane, meanwhile, Febby goes down.
All right, well, a quick and easy one there. Limek is going to be punished for that, of course, as always around the map. Need to watch out for those kills. And it's still the Anti-Mage who's been left alone. Like 71 CS at this point, 12 minutes in, he's getting close to a Battle Fury. Like you said, you need another core, as Raging Potato might end up dying up top, but still it's feeling like this is a game where Anti-Mage can take over if he's left alone for a while. It doesn't feel like Fnatic are going to offer him that possibility.
Yeah, and I think there was a couple approaches you can take to try and stop that. Either go all in, like early game aggression, or you just try and get some Midases and match the Anti-Mage in the late game. For now, it's all in aggression. Veno's queued up a drum. That's not an item you'd normally expect to see. I think if you wanted to go for the late game, Veno goes like Midas, Dragonlance, like he goes right-click farming items. Veno actually scales very nicely as a right-click carry with some of his talents. He gets plus 75 damage, he gets extra poison sink slow, he gets some health at level 15 as well.
Trying to block off their way with the
Mid-lane.
Plague Wards here. There's a battle going on down in the south side as well. RR is going to go down. It looks like Ajit might be able to... No, he's not going to get away unless the Nyx Assassin can turn this back around and save his life. Oh, Night Stalker, they wanted it. Nando still chasing, but he's going to have to let Ajit get out of there. And, well, the Night Stalker barely away on very limited HP.
He'll barely survive it.
I think he will at least. They're still sort of looking. Ohio? He spots him, he gets him! Night Stalker trying to run away. They do have the global teleport, of
Could
course.
TP in, yeah.
But
may actually find him. I don't know if he saw he had no mana or no TP, but he's not gonna... Is he gonna go looking?
he spots him again there. Limek trying to get out.
Kill.
That was so weird.
He's a good Nature's Prophet player.
So, you mentioned the drum on the... Oh, this is a big kill if they can get it. Febby, they got him! Ended up getting greedy going for the bounty rune. And that really hurts.
Well, it's been the, I think, theme of a lot of Fnatic's drafts, picking comfort heroes. We see the QO Ember, the Ohio Nature's Prophet, and the plays are coming out from these two already, giving Fnatic a lot of early towers, early kills, but here come Execration looking to stop and slow them down.
It's a big kill if they can get it. They jump forward onto Ohio to start the fight. Febby, they think about it. They turn back around with the Warlock ulti. Ohio still staying alive in this one. The Sonic Wave, it is going to be enough to kill him off. Raging Potato low on mana, but still trying to get away from them here. And Nando's shown up for the fight as still looking to take down GJ. He's going to be controlled. QO doesn't have enough mana for chains. Oh, he ends up popping the wand, and that's going to be enough for the kill. Very well played. Ajit now about to find Raging Potato as he can chase him down. Drops the ulti. That Puck is out of there, I believe, is going to die.
That is a huge fight. The Warlock was just ready for that aggression to come in. Nature's Prophet gets gone on and does ultimately die since he hasn't got the defensive capabilities against that kind of aggression, but it set up a perfect Rock Fatal Bonds combo. I think Quap lucky to have survived on about 80 HP with the Fatal Bonds, just that there wasn't any follow-up damage to completely kill her off, but that would have been a disaster of a fight if she had died as well. Even so, you see the result is 4 net worth leaders all on the Dire side, and QO is just feeling it. He just wants to keep on playing aggressive.
I mean, he throws out a Remnant there to kill off James. Wasn't quite able to do it. He needed a couple more seconds before he was going to have a second one off cooldown. And I guess the only thing that you maybe need to be a little bit worried about for Fnatic is they have fully itemized for this early game pressure, like double drums on their lineup as well.
Yep.
But it doesn't really feel like there's much that Execration can do to stop it and hold off the game, really.
They've got the 1 Midas on Nyx, and I think now that you've got the Venos Midas, perhaps he's going to say, okay, we've secured the early to mid game, maybe now he goes a bit greedier. I think that his drums wasn't necessary considering Nature's Prophet had one, but we'll definitely see some elements of greed slip back in from Fnatic now that they have map control. They're probably going to feel like they can't actually break high ground despite having this big 8k gold lead. So the greed will kind of come back. It's going to be more greed around the whole idea they have map control. So they're going to control all the farm on the map. It's going to be very hard for Execration to leave their base. And because of that, you can out-farm Execration and turn this like 9k gold lead into a 15k gold lead, then a 20k gold lead.
The Plague Ward's stolen from Rubik is, like you said earlier, very huge too for trying to hold off against high ground. But like you mentioned, if it is still only farming 1 wave at a time, and Rubik's getting the majority of those kills with Plague Wards, it's not really what you need out of your team.
Yeah. So looks like Roche is on the agenda for Fnatic. The Warlock Chaotic Offering's about to be back up. I think realistically the team fight of Execration just isn't really there to fight this, but they are smoked. They actually want to have a go. This just seems very opportunistic of them. I don't really see this working too well.
All right, let's watch if they can do it. Darkness is going to be popped immediately. Dream Coil, the Sonic Wave, not what they needed. Oh God, let it end. Execration just eviscerated in the river.
Kind of how I saw that one go. And they jump the Warlock and burst him down, perhaps. Oh, they're not done.
Yeah. RR, he wants to get away. He's going to pop the Flame Guard, and, well, you know, magic on magic damage. He's trying to get out of there, but QO just is having none of it.
Yeah, he's got DD too. He's got some physical. Roche will be secured, and 4 for nothing. Febby is like, anyone else lurking around? Let's dive some towers, see what we can find, but Roshan going to go to Arch. It looks like he has got a Veil. Oh no, sorry, that's QO with a Veil. He's going Radiance. He's the one who's going to get the Aegis. Arjit's going to pick up a Hood. So he is going to go very early game. They want to end this game fast, have a way to push high ground. And QO going to be kind of the late game insurance policy with his build.
Looks like he ended up just popping a Remnant, maybe going to head back home also. Nando, 18 minutes, finishes off the Battle Fury. It's a tough game for the Anti-Mage. Like, this is sort of what we were talking about in the draft, though, too, where we felt like they needed something that could fight earlier, and this is the problem with that not happening, is now you're left in this situation without any way to stop the push.
This Puck just got owned so hard bottom lane. That's definitely one of the biggest issues. You give the Puck a 1v1 lane. He's meant to be the hero that does okay in lane, can then be a tempo controller and fight early on, but he's been playing catch-up all game long.
Well, there's a Battle of Ruin over here by the Ancients. That is going to be a dead Rubik. And it looks like the Night Stalker will get out. In the meantime, Febby is still chasing the Puck, who is going to be able to walk away. Raging Potato just gets the TP out. And, well, top lane now, they've caught the Anti-Mage, the hero that was meant to be the be-all, end-all.
It's not feeling like it. It's feeling pretty neutered at this point by Fnatic's aggression.
Well, last game, they put on quite a show, and it felt like Execration had ways into it. This game, I don't know what the hell you do. This is just, it's so impossibly hard to deal with this. It's Plague Wards on RR yet again, but...
Yep, QO TP's bottom to defend, but he's left a Remnant behind so he can rejoin his team fairly soon. Looks like he may just want to finish off his Radiance if he can before coming back. It's got the money, but doesn't have the courier access. The pipe means this Quap Puck duo are not going to be dishing out much damage. Like, it's already an underfarm Puck, and now you're looking at even less damage output. There's no Veil or anything like that on him. The Veil is on the Quap, but very hard to take fights. Execration are going to maybe look to use this nighttime to get initiation. The Warlock has Rock back up though, and if he positions well, it is so hard to do anything.
Oh god, they're going to jump on the Venomancer.
Ready.
This is not going to end well. They don't even actually need to use it. Immediately Execration are like, yeah, let's not do that anymore.
Definitely they needed to just hightail it out of there.
Ohio wanting to come in and take him down. Nonetheless, Chains on to 2. That is going to be a hell of a lot of damage. The Quap is dead. The Rubik's dead. Night Stalker's dead. They're all dead.
Ohio's like the most selfless player. He's like, he TPs into 4 heroes knowing that he's likely going to die, but his team are going to win a fight. He is like the definition of a selfless offlane player in my mind. Never thinks about himself or the outcome for his hero. It's always about the outcome for his team. TP's in, dies for the cause, and Fnatic are on high ground. Do have an anti-mage split pushing top, getting a tier 1 tower, but at this point, losing Rax, you don't care about losing a tier 1 and anti-mage getting some split pushing.
Oh no, and again, Puck, it's just, it hurts every time seeing him go down like that. You've got that anti-mage, like you said, he's up there in the top lane, but QO just wants to dive deep for them. He's going to be able to kill off that Rubik another time. 8-27, and maybe they end up getting a tier 2 tower here. Nando is doing whatever he can. This game feels, I mean, it's over. There's nothing to do.
There's no point anti-mage coming back to defend. All he can do is split push, and they're going to die even further.
Yeah, Kiss killing him. Lumic is just going to try and run away. It's an ultra kill for QO. Oh.
Anti-mage will just keep telling his team, like, guys, this Ember has an Aegis. What can I do? I'm just going to, this is my job. This is what you picked anti-mage for.
You know, I think I got reported in a game for doing this one time. Pubs don't understand.
Yeah, I mean, this anti-mage is doing the right thing, but it's more like the fact this game is just kind of lost at this point, as you said. Very little they can do. QO tries to TP back, gets it cancelled by a Dream Coil.
Okay.
But Febi's there to defend top, of course. I mean, you're not going to give up a Rax at this point. You can finish off bottom lane with 3-4 heroes. You've got an Aegis. QO doesn't really care what happens right now. They may even go for the third lane. Yeah. Febi forces the AM to TP, and then he's already headed back to the Radiant base.
And we're going to see exactly why it is that the anti-mage didn't TP back, because there's nothing that he can really do to stop this at all. And
yep.
I mean, this is...
Still 30 seconds of Aegis left. QO is unkillable in the sense that he has got the 2 lives to work with. We're going to kill him twice.
It actually is going to expire in 17 seconds.
Found Quap in the side.
Oh no, Queen of Pain, run away! There's a remnant forward as well if they want to. They could just dive for James, but yeah, it's Execration staying in until the bitter end, and it is quite bitter for them indeed.
Cruz is going to back off, get his regen before going back in. Does lose the regen.
Okay.
But he's got plenty of HP in mind still.
This is the part, this is the line in the sand. Go for it, everybody. They're trying to take him down. Nando trying to burn through the mana, but it was never going to be enough. Mana Void, the most ineffective one that we've seen in a while. They kill off the Ember, but they lose the game. Sad trombone indeed, James. Well, Gods, Fnatic 2-0. What do you think?
They're good. They're very individually talented in QO, I think. Ajit's been a great addition. He's that like kind of stable